Man, the heavyweight division is litty. Haven't been like this in a long time, man. Sometimes unfortunate situations like failing a PED test or somebody dying in the ring, it brings the spotlight to the boxing world in a negative light, but it also brings in casuals. It also brings in people that, want to know something about boxing. Maybe they pops, maybe their grandfather was into boxing, then they hear the news of this guy, see this guy, and they feel like, yo, let me see what's going on. So unfortunate situations usually brings people into the boxing world, and that's a beautiful thing. Anytime we can get new boxing fans, man, it makes the sport grow. At the end of the day, this video is about Sloppy Wilder, right? So he in the UK, moving and shaking, doing interviews with a lot of different news outlets, smashing and blasting on Dillian Whyte for his failed PED test, trying to embarrass my boy Anthony Joshua for losing to Andy Ruiz. Listen, so he out there in the UK smashing on dudes in their own hood. We gotta respect that. But in the interview, he said a lot of different things, and I agree with some of the things he said, and I want to give y'all my thoughts on it, right? So when it comes down to the PED allegations, we all know that he failed, Dillian Whyte. So, for Deontay Wilder to smash on him and say, listen, man, you're a cheater. It's his second time cheating. What is it going to be now? A shake? What is it going to be now? You didn't know what you was eating? How you going to change gloves an hour prior to the fight and Rivas wasn't notified? How come Rivas wasn't notified that, you popped dirty? You understand me? So it's a lot that is in the mind going on with Sloppy Wilder because he's mandatory to fight this guy, a guy that just got popped. You understand what I'm saying now? Deontay Sloppy, he's really not that smart, but on the surface of what he knows, he got all right to say what he got to say. We all know, right? People who did their research and understand what Eddie Hearn actually explained to us, which is, listen, I'm a promoter. This is my guy, Dillian Whyte. Look, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor, right? So when the test was positive, they had a hearing immediately. Unfortunately, that didn't happen with Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury had to stay off for about 2 years waiting for that hearing. And then, but the meeting happened early for Dillian, and Dillian should be happy about that. But, and he was cleared by WBC and UCAP to fight. So he has nothing else to do with the situation other than, as far as Eddie Hearn, other than let the fight happen because he's obligated, because he has contracts. He has contractual, obligations to make the fight go down. You understand me? So I understand the backstory. I understand the truth, but the truth sometimes don't look good. And the truth sometimes just don't feel right. Like me and you would say, yo, come on, tell Rivas, man, but that's not Eddie Hearn's job. You feel me? So we can't blame Eddie Hearn. You smell what I'm saying? But a lot does feel suspicious, and Deontay Wilder got all right to be vocal. And that's how he's going to build his brand. You understand me? By claiming to be the clean fighter, claiming to be the guy who's willing to get in the ring with anybody, go to your home country and talk smack. That's what he's building his name on. Look, Deontay Sloppy Wilder wasn't nothing until he started talking about Anthony Joshua. Remember that, man. So he got to do this in order to build his name. Point blank, period. A lot of guys in the UK, a lot of fans in the UK do like Deontay Sloppy. And that's one thing I respect about the UK fan base, because they not biased. I mean, we got biased people in every country and they're all around the world, but they not biased. They look, Anthony Joshua from their hood, but they gonna support the guy they like. And a lot of people do support and like Sloppy Wilder. But at the end of the day, man, the reporter asked him, listen, how you want him to be banned for life, Dillian, but when you made comments about catching the body in the ring, you didn't get banned. People was calling for you to get banned for trying to, and even talking about doing something like that. And, he had a good comeback, and it's unusual for a guy like Dillian, for a guy like Sloppy Wilder, which was, listen, I talked about doing something, but these guys actually put something in their body and was willing to have an unfair advantage. You understand me? To have that extra gain to actually hurt somebody in the ring. I'm coming in there natural. I got the right to say whatever I want to say. This is the fight business, but I'm not putting anything illegal in my body to make or get that body. I'm doing it naturally. If it happened, it happened. You understand what I'm saying? He says he loves life. And look, at the end of the day, I got to respect that. That's a good comeback. Maybe Shelly Finkel told him, look, this is what you got to say if this question arises. And he listened and remembered. And that's a good thing for a guy from Alabama, right? The reporter asked a great question. You didn't call for your brother to be banned for life when he popped dirty. Imagine if that was Anthony Joshua's teammate, somebody he sparred with, and he had a fight and he popped dirty. Do you know the media would have had a field day with Anthony Joshua being associated with somebody that popped dirty? He would have been a topic of discussion, and he wasn't even the one who popped dirty. Now, Sloppy Wilder, that's your brother. That's a closer association. The apple don't fall too far from the tree, but people wasn't running around saying you must be dirty too. I mean, I said that because I know more things about you. I mean, sloppy hand injuries, sloppy back injuries, leg injuries. We all know when these fighters get injured, they're taking drugs to heal, right? Sometimes fighters take a different type of drug so they can heal even faster in a PED form, but it's not actually taking a PED. It's just something that's banned, but you're not fighting, so you're able to take it. We don't know, but you understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that was a great question, and he never actually answered that question, and I understand why, because it would have opened up the floodgates for him to be under some type of suspicion, because that is his brother, somebody that you grew up with, your life, your family. You feel me? At the end of the day, look, the interview was great. Go check it on IFL TV, man. He did a lot of different interviews with a lot of different networks, and I'm still sifting through, looking at different things. But the theme is always going to be smash on Anthony Joshua, smash on Dillian Whyte, raise your profile, come back to the States, fight Ortiz, and hopefully all that you did in the UK and talking to the people, translating to pay-per-view buys. Yeah, and of course he talked about Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz, the rematch. He believes Ruiz will be able to duplicate what he did to Anthony Joshua in the first fight. He believes that Anthony Joshua will have a tough time looking at the man who snatched his heart, who knocked him down. Will Anthony Joshua be able to overcome those fears, those nightmares? He believes that Anthony Joshua wakes up in cold sweats every day thinking about that night. End of the day, that's his feeling. I beg to differ. I got a great video about that, but he talked about he's not looking past Ortiz. He's looking through Ortiz, and he believes he's going to knock him out just like he did in the first fight. He said it's going to be a tough fight, but that's going to be easy work. He is window shopping because he believes that Andy will be able to defeat Anthony Joshua, whether it's going to be in the UK or in the States. And if Andy Ruiz is able to pull it off, he would like to fight Andy Ruiz to be undisputed. And that's been his plan all along. Take the easy route, just like the way Bully Spence. I'll fight Rod Saka. I'll fight Keith Thurman. I'll fight Jeff Horn. Everybody but the boogeyman standing right in front of you, chasing you, and my boy Terrence Crawford, right? Look, both of these guys are doing the same thing, but in different weight classes. And like I said before, a lot of guys were saying Anthony Joshua need to go take some tune-ups, get some more boxing ability, lose some weight, lose all that muscle, so Deontay Wilder can fight Ruiz to be undisputed. And I'm telling you, I'm picking Wilder over Ruiz. That's an easy fight to pick. I mean, the dimensions of Deontay Wilder, he beats Ruiz. Ruiz is a good fighter, but I would put my money on the wood with the enemy in Deontay Sloppy Wilder. But I will say this before I let you go, man. I'm not mad at Sloppy for smashing on Dillian. Dillian put out a little statement, but it's not enough. We need to know more. We need to wait for the B sample as well. I know he can't really speak about certain things, according to his lawyers. But, Eddie Hearn, listen, we're going to get into all that. But at the end of the day, man, subscribe to the channel, man. Let me know your thoughts on this whole thing, man. Holla at your boy. Peace.
Audio.
Yeah. New media, new perspective. This is what new media look like. This is what new media look like. It's all about casual boxing talk. Just when you thought you had to figure new media, new perspective, casual boxing talk.